Welcome back, folks. As always, I'm your host, Sterling K. King. That's King by name and King by reputation. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Olach's Miracle Serum. Guaranteed to cure all that ails you. That's Olach's Miracle Serum, now with 50% more mercury. Last we saw our heroes, they had risked life and limb fighting the mighty Curb Beast. Thanks to a little quick thinking and plenty of brute force, the beast was subdued. Let's rejoin our heroes as they hurry to catch the train.
Final call for 026 to Newsport. Final call 026 to Newsport.
The four of you hear this echo about you on the PA system as you all rush forward through the crowds as quickly as you can, mired by the innumerable bodies blocking the way. You barely manage to make it on board at the very last moment as the train doors close, sort of coming face to face with a almost shocked looking furbolg dressed in the attire of the train guards as the train begins to pull out of the station. You notice there is no longer four of you. Looking out through the glass, you see Aiden left on the platform, just out front of the rest of the crowd, his arms spread open in a sort of "the fuck" expression.
Ha! Fuck you, mage!
And that expression slowly sinks away into the distance as the trainer pulls out of the station into the blazing sun of the mid-afternoon. The furbolg kind of says, "Well, hey there, fellas. Can I see your tickets there, then?"
Yeah, sure, hang on, let me see if I can find it here. I have pockets, don't worry, I have pockets. I'm gonna start patting my pockets, look for my ticket, finding it in my right-hand pocket, and I just pull it out, crumpled and proudly illegible at this point, and just fist out, open it. Here you are, my ticket.
He takes it from you and responds with as he kind of uncrumples it in his hands. "Lucky thing you guys made it at all, eh? Too bad about your friend there." He sort of takes the tickets from all of you and checks them over. "Anything to declare there, eh? Any concealed weapons about? I see that you there, Mr. Dimforge, you got the Morse Magicae stamp on there?
Yeah.
What about you other fellas? Anything to declare?"
Just my two bare hands!
Just this bowhead. And in response to Squigums, I'm just gonna rub the bridge of my nose.
"Oh, well, that's well within regulations there, eh? Not a bunch of damage you can do here on a train with a bow."
Oh, I certainly wouldn't imagine.
"Anyway, you're in back downway coach. This here is the first class cabins." And he kind of directs you to the left.
Just, before we go, how wide are the seats exactly?
"Oh, well, in coach there, eh?" Sort of measures you up. "I'd say you're lucky you got a free seat next to you there, buddy."
Well, I'm more so talking about this, weapon, yeah, because I was hoping to put it, horizontal across the seat. So if I hit the ceiling, if we go over a bump or something, I'm not gonna stab anybody with this on accident, nothing like that.
How often does this happen to you? But that's your first concern.
You'd be surprised. One time I was on a carriage, and we were going along in a bump, and my halberd flipped upward, and just hit the driver on the back of the head. We had to walk the rest of the way.
Wonderful.
Good times.
"Well, we got us a luggage rack above the seats there, buddy. Make sure you stow it nice and good, though. We don't have any liability insurance there." Yeah, and with that, the three of you sort of head down. You pass a open cabin with a pair of Barbrashkins in there. One very tall, wizened, elder-looking man with very gruff, sort of aggressive features, and a very shy young girl who seems to be quite the opposite in every regard. They seem to be discussing some esoteric subject, books all scattered about the cabin, which was intended for 6 people, and currently housing 2 is entirely full. Seeing this, you guys pass along your way and sort of take your seats with the rest of the passengers. now we are going to switch to our newest player, and her character, Paige. Of course, the Barbarashkin that you gentlemen just passed, that would be Paige with her teacher there. The very gruff, elderly Cyrus Wiverstone. He's currently guiding you through a lesson in the Grimoire, one of the ancient artifact books of your school, the Almirage Academy. We've studied most of your life. This seems to be like a very practical guide on the applications of mage armor versus shield. Something he intended to like quiz you on later, but at the moment he seems rather preoccupied with talking down about the people of the Freland. He says, "I simply cannot believe the amount they confiscated. I mean, really. And the way they eyed your father's little spectacles there. Ooh, I cannot stand these Frelanders. I bet they just intended to steal it."
The restrictions they put on do seem to be pretty heavy.
It's absurd. It's nonsense about spell limits and preparation restrictions. Ridiculous. And charm spells, what outrageous nonsense. And yet they still let their elected leaders use charismatic tricks to lead the masses. It's absurd. As may be very obvious to all the players here and the audience as well, this is a very political individual. And these sort of rants are a very common thing when he's about. So what do you want to do, B?
I don't know.
I mean, would you like to keep your head down and study? Would you like to engage him?
Keep Matt down seems like a better choice.
No, indeed, as he continues to ramble this way for a good 20 minutes or so. And then there's a sudden, he very suddenly cuts off and sort of looks off up into the right corner of his vision and then looks down to you for a moment. This sudden, cut in his speech is more than enough to catch your attention. And he says, "I will be right back, my dear. Stay with the book, if you please."
Of course.
And he sort of stands up very abruptly and strides out into the hall. You hear his heels sort of impact the floor for a decent distance as he moves with what seems like some high degree of urgency. He in fact passes by you guys in the coach cabin, and he turns to Thor, gives kind of a really nasty sneer on his way past, but doesn't break his stride.
As he's passing, I'm laying across two seats right now, but as he's passing, I'm just gonna flip him off with two hands. Just give him the most pissed face I can muster when he does that.
He does actually in fact stop for that, somehow seeing your highly aggressive face through your helmet. Probably more the double bird that caught his attention.
Good.
But he sort of looks you up and down, and could you roll me insight?
Insight,
Actually,
okay.
Anybody who would like can roll insight on this gen.
Okay. That would be a 5 plus 2.
Nice.
14.
3.
Fucking squigums. You see this gentleman regard Thor, and then sort of look around the cabin. What he seems to be doing is measuring up the amount of space. And unsatisfied, he sort of turns his nose up and continues walking.
Pompous prick.
Does it look like I can take him?
Insight again.
Alright.
I'd like to assist with this.
Insight with advantage.
15.
Jesus.
Is that with advantage?
Oh, with advantage? Oh,
Yeah. Second roll.
again, it's...
A 6.
Okay, 15.
No. Aside from the fact that you're pretty
Okay.
sure he's one of those fancy wizards from up north, he's actually quite big for an old man, tall and broad-shouldered. Looks like he'd probably like deliver a decent punch. And regardless, it's too late as he opens the doors out into the next cabin, closes them behind him, and sort of moves on. And then there's a lot of like sudden whispering and chatter going on between all the various people.
Well, that guy looks a little suspicious, but those damn mages, right? Am I right?
And I'm gonna, like, bump the guy that's near my feet with my foot.
He kind of looks over like very aggressively at first, and then kind of sort of seeing you decked out in full armor, he kind of changes and is like, oh yeah, especially those Free the Weave Coalition fellas.
Yeah, well, they don't do good.
I'm sorry,
Anyway,
sir.
alright. Oh,
The what?
The Free the Weave Coalition. Some protester group against the magic laws. They were the guys that got the spell limit upped.
oh,
Yeah, there's been some talk that they were pulling in a bunch of big name Babrashkins for this big show.
what do you mean big show?
Oh, they do it all the time. I think it was 2 years ago. Morkainen struck a lightning rod with lightning and kept the city powered for 4 months.
Well, that doesn't sound like such a bad thing.
Oh, like 3 people died. There was a bit of a overcharge.
Alright, maybe a little bit of a bad thing.
And this is why we have laws.
That's the sort of thing they do, no? They come in, they try and swing their dicks around, prove that magic beats science, and then fucking break some shit.
And well, you know what?
That's why I have this, and I'm gonna reach up to grab my halberd and just plank it down onto the floor. This here, this is the good old mage castrator, right there.
Super sharp. It's got the new polish on the blade. We have this nice leather wrap. So nice. It's great. Cost me way too much money, but it's fine because this is a tool of justice.
He sort of looks it up and down, and then says, well, no, that's a McLeod maker, Mark. This is mass-produced garbage.
What?
Yeah, McLeod. It was made in a factory. There wasn't even a smith involved in that.
But I bought it at the train station. This really nice dude was just like, oh yeah, it's great. I made it myself. He's a dwarf. I mean, they make stuff all the time, right?
Yeah, not in transit.
Oh.
Mostly transit's full of con artists.
Oh.
This is what happens when you rely too much on the weapons and stuff.
Look.
You need to use your good old punches. Those always work.
Didn't the Moors provide you with a weapon?
Technically I'm not supposed to have weapons. Long story short, a thing happened where some stuff might have blown up and got displaced. It may be nobody's fault at all, really. I mean, who can tell whose fault it is, really? I mean, come on, it's not mine. I can tell you that much. Anyway, yeah, gotta go follow the mage. See ya. And I'm gonna just get up with my helper and just book it down the end of the cart.
Alright, and
I'm going to sleep.
I mean, can we just go one day without getting in a fight with somebody? I'm gonna go follow Thor.
alrighty. So Squigum sort of reclines back in the newly abandoned seat of Hap, kind of tips his hat down over his face to get ready for what is actually going to be quite a long trip. You guys know that it's going to take at least 2 or 3 days.
Oh,
All right,
do we have beds on this train?
I do now.
First class has sleeper cars, but coach does not.
Oh. Are the seats padded?
There's a little bit of padding. But,
Oh,
you know,
so it's like
you
a
paid like 4 silver for these tickets, so
so it's like a bus seat then.
essentially, yeah.
Oh.
So you two make your way out to sort of where this gent was. Stop by and quickly ask a few people, you know, did you see a fucking wild-looking mage pass through here? You know, they're all like, yeah, of course, he's a prick. Like, he mouthed off at so many people.
Even the women and the children?
Yeah, everyone, even the animals. He insulted a cat directly for, like, no reason.
Where's this cat?
It's off on one of the tables, and it just You've never seen a cat look so depressed. It's just like
Aw.
hanging halfway up there, and not asleep, just defeated.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna put both my hands, one on each side of his head, and go, "It's okay. He can't hurt you anymore." Do I have to roll animal handling?
Sure.
Okay. I don't have any modifiers to this, but that's a good old 6.
Yeah, your like rough, gauntleted fingers kind of like stroke through its fur. It doesn't really seem to care whatsoever. You almost feel from it as though it had wished that your hand was the icy grip of death instead.
I'm taking this. I'm taking this cat. First of all, I'm gonna turn around and ask, who here owns this cat?
There's just a consensus of like, no, this is nobody's cat. You can have it.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna just slowly try to pick it up and place it into my bag.
It literally like dangles and provides no resistance as you just pop it in your bag.
That's a good cat.
Go ahead. One sad cat, 3 pounds to your inventory.
Sad cat. Ounce.
Please don't forget that cat's there, because that'll turn to dead cat very quickly.
No, the bag isn't locked. He's my boy. We're tight, you know. That's how the kids say it these days, right?
You guys continue on your way toward the front of the train. You finally reach the cargo cabins, and roll me perception, Brent only.
Alright. 6? Are you... God! I have not hit double digits yet.
Hey man, that's how it do. So yeah, not really aware of anything on the other side of that door. You open the door to the cargo cabin, and then immediately struck by this powerful metallic coppery smell. Very familiar smell. That blood. For a moment you give pause, and then you push the door all the way open to reveal the corpse of that Abrashkin wanker who just made an enemy of every single person on this train.
Alright. Thank you for joining us for another part of this adventure. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and comment to tell us why you did, or why you didn't if you disliked it. If you'd like to see more, you can subscribe and click the bell icon to receive notifications when we upload again. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter for regular updates, and we have a public Discord server where Thor likes to post bad memes. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with more in a few weeks.